So guys, Mr. Scales here. Now that I'm trying to change a bit of the channel, yes, there's still power scaling, but now I'm also trying or wanting to also discuss or converse about philosophy and spiritualities as well, the one that uplift the soul as well. So yeah, there's a really a lot of topics that we converse about there. To be honest, there about the idea itself there, or basically the psychology too as well, about Freudian psychology as well there, Adler as well, Jungian, all the stuff there. It's really really awesome to discuss there. Also as well in philosophy too as well, or the idea about the other philosophers like Plato as well, Aristotle, and actually Plato, Aristotle as well there. And also as well there is some continental philosophy as well, and others well like the other idea like absurd, other idea as well, such as in Hindu as well there, and Hindu as well there, and also as well there. I would say the Oriental, like, yeah, the Hindu as well there, and also as well some Eastern philosophy there as well. Hindu and Israel is somewhat has connection to be honest there, but yeah, we got you covered in here though. In the philosophy as well there, like a lot in the philosophy there, Sanatana Dharma as well there, all the schools as well there, and also about Taoism as well, Taoism Taoism as well, and even as well, even even to the idea as well, in a context of in Filipino as well, for psychology about the idea of Sir Virgilio too as well, for foreigners too as well there, they can be incorporated as well, integrated as well. But now let's freaking stop yapping as well there or blabbering there. Let's get straight to the point. Liberty, liberty, or liberation, and the shadow self there. The shadow is a really interesting concept as well because the shadow represents the idea as well that is quote unquote unintegrated itself there. Not only is it unintegrated, but it's the quote unquote wild side of the person as well. There is basically just a freaking like a mass of and a mass of chaos and a mass of chaos as well there, and just a mass of chaos and just desires there, like of the id itself, of the id as well there, like a lot of unconscious energy there were and just shot there. It's basically really like beyond as well the conscious as well, or conscious awareness there. That even Iran itself, the mind, even Iran is the mind, and even the behavior even there, and behavior there. The shadow is a representative itself there to the devil archetype, which is pretty obvious there. But for the newest there, the shadow is the representative of the devil archetype. The devil archetype is the representative of obviously, but an allegory of Satan as well there. But not only about that, of it's a representative of freedom too as well there, rebellion as well there, and also as well unbounded creativity too as well, if you know that too as well there. And the shadow itself there is basically anti-ego itself there, anti-ego or the super ego even as well there, literally against order itself there. Also as well there, the shadow itself there is either Satan too, is Satan, or Mara as well, or Iblis there, the tempter there. But this is a really interesting there. The shadow itself there, the integrated part of the side of the person itself there, is probably like interesting. What is actually embedded as well there? Embedded in a context as well that um yeah, yeah, no, that it's basically like an idea itself there, not really embedded, but basically just made up by humans, to be honest. There, what if basically what is living like without the shadow as well there, what if basically like, oh, you having an enemy, or the saying itself that you are your own enemy is basically just a fucking trap in this whole thing. kind of like sounds like a fucking trap, to be honest there. Like it kind of sounds like a trap, to be honest there. Literally like beyond that crap there, to be honest. So yeah, but the shadow itself is not there. But I remember as well there, I really want to talk about Universal Mastery too as well, or with Jeremiah Schwartz. He has a video there, I forgot basically what's his basically name of the video. But in the nervous system as well there, when one itself is in the trauma itself, one itself is in the trauma, the trauma as well, there will be a part of self that will be fragmented as well there, and one of the parts of there that knows how to fix it, or the protector part as well there. But the issue about that, if one knows the mind itself there, that there is a side of a person itself there, there is a side of person, the mind itself there. This is basically on the side of code good, and the one that is bad there. But it's really just basically like fuel on the fire. And actually that if one itself observe it and basically attach yourself to it, it's basically become a fuel, or create some sorrow as well, or what we call some sorrow itself there. And to throw away the ignorance itself is to confront it itself there. To confront it basically. The shadow is that there. But the shadow is that there. That's basically if we know by self that if we integrate that aspect of ourselves, we will be free. But the issue about that is, oh my gosh, entities now. How to freaking separate the entities to the shadow and the entities to the shadow itself there. I remember as well in just non-conformist radio there. If you know that channel there, you know some good stuff. Non-conformist radio talk about the idea of the idea of self, this archons, or archons as well there. Who the archons as well there, or these freaking entities there. And basically said to him that, oh, hehe, just integrate the freaking shadow, dude. Just freaking like, it's not really about that, like really like verbatim, but it's somewhat like kind of like that. Or how could I recognize or understand it? And these entities, or these freaking archons or reptiles there, really wants to be a part of you there. They kind of go also on the line there that if you are everything and nothing in the center, the part that is everything, the part is everything, close and open parenthesis, that the part that's everything, then they will like freely enter to you as well there, or really like inhabit you, or basically cohabitate to you there as well, or basically reconcile stuff there. But the issue itself there is just integrating these things there. That's not even like an aspect of you there. This is basically on the freaking long run. You know that you will have that stuff there that will unironically like even like wish farm you or something, like wish farm you or something. That is really dangerous as heck. Really dangerous as heck, the idea there. But even much worse than that, than this freaking how to discern the shadow, or even like what if basically the shadow is basically just the one that's basically like like Luch farming or something there. And what is like really like living like outside of that stuff? You are not living that stuff. You are not the enemy at all there. Or no one has enemies itself there. No one has enemies self there. Really effective as well thought. Really effective thought as well there. That basically the ego itself there like wouldn't survive that thing, to be honest. Wouldn't survive that thing, to be honest there. And the shadow going poof to as well too. Oh, poof to as well there. Obviously like the attachment as well there. The attachment as well there. The attachment as well there. But in a sense the mind itself there is just really fickle itself there. It is bugged by a thought itself there. Even just in you like of coming, like it will be considered or indicated or scanned as evil itself or bad there. It really wants to remove it out of your relation itself there. And even at the moment, even at some moments it make it freaking worse though. It make it freaking worse there. That's basically kind of like the idea of it there. That basically this fucking thing there, like this fucking thing of the ego itself there, which is basically the shadow itself there. You could even like say them as fucking like entities, to be honest though. the entities there, or the shadow, like the idea of freaking shadows are really freaking dangerous to be honest there. It's really really cool itself to integrate there, but in the long run, really cool to integrate, but in the long run itself there, the only thing that you need is basically your inner child. That's kind of pretty much it to be honest there, because it's basically kind of like the shadow, the kind of the shadow, or these entities or dark forces like attach you in basically in the left brain to be honest, or the ego brain there, and not really like use your full potential there, or the right brain, the really truly creative brain there, really truly the creative brain there. But that doesn't mean like a bit of negativity, or it's not negativity is a right word, but individuality certainly there, individuality, or um a bit of shadow, but not really like bit. How can I say this, or rephrase it even there? That's kind of like a bit of a positive negativity or something. Positive negativity or something would be enough there. Positive negativity would be enough there, or a bit to integrate there. Big bit to integrate, bit to integrate there, as in basically itself there, that the ego itself there would be really really reliant. The ego itself there has no place and would be really 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 ridiculously reliant on feelings and such there. It's better to have like a bit of like the ego is still there, the ego is still there, but in a sense like a bit, it will not be intrusive as heck, or even like adhesive there. It will really really flow well to you there, in your favor there. And yeah, that's basically it there about the shadow itself there. And now basically the aspect of liberation itself there, to become really 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 liberated in the mind there. Yeah, basically like people like thinking itself there, that basically they are the observer itself there. But but what if itself there? What if itself? Yeah, observer is really cool itself there. But itself, like seeing in extremities itself there, that basically in visualization itself there, that you are not the freaking eyes, or basically visualizing that your eyes is freaking moved there. Visualizing that your eyes is removed there for me there. Abs or removed for me there, and it will give you like a piece as well there, removing your eyes, or as well like the headless idea as well, there, by a like a person there, a spiritual guru or master there said there. I don't remember, it's pretty good or something, but basically the headless way itself there, that basically the ego does not exist there. No, no observer, no hearer to as well, no hearer to as well there. It's just that stuff there, just that stuff as well there, that stuff as well there. That's basic, pretty much it to be honest there, with liberation there. But not only about that, but liberation also an action as well there, because there are something itself that will trap you in freaking like low vibration, and those thoughts itself there, or entities even said, low vibrational entities will come to you there and replay the same crap to you there. So you must not tap it. You must not tap again to that freaking threshold there. So you really really cleanse your beads, like watching like really high content, like spirit high content, or high vibration, not high vibrations like sounds like new age, but high, basically like high form of content there, like spiritual, philosophical as well there, or even like pondering as well there, writing, reading, doing art there. I do art on my channel there. I do art on my channel there. And also as well, philo- not just philosophizing, pondering to as well there, and also as well pondering to as well there and such there, and also as well the act like abstaining and saying swear words to be honest there, or some words is unnecessary there, or even like telling some joke there, not really like telling them joke, not a good attempt, as basically like said by Bruce Lee there, even the joke there, that the basically subconscious would literally like think that as just, oh my gosh, yeah, I know, it just basically just pass off as just normal, but the subconscious can think as a, or know how the mind thinks itself there is a real thing there. The joke, like the jokes itself there, the jokes itself there, also as well the judgment itself, the judgment of the mind or the ego. It's just specifically like the ego, to be honest. The judgment of the mind itself, the judgment of the or the judgment of the mind, or the basically ego mind, or the ego itself, the rational mind there, and also as well there, just basically just letting the state of just letting there. That's pretty much it though. That's basically the video Mr. Scales. That's it. It's really ridiculously new to the channel there. Really ridiculously. I started to revive the channel to probably include some philosophical, some ramblings, to be honest there. That's it. Some ramblings there, spiritual ramblings and such there. For me, this channel is pretty much it, to be honest there. So yeah, thanks. As this channel, salamat po. The foreigners there does not know it. It just means thank you. That's it. That's it, my brothers. That's it.